श्री श्री रास विहारिणी जू की जय, श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय। श्री हरिराजी के परे शिक्षा पत्र, letter number 2, verses 1 to 3, on day 6 of Vraja Kishori Seva test, reading of Shri Hariraji Pare Shiksha Patra. Letter 2 has 20 verses, and the title of the Patra is Experiencing the Lord's Form. This second letter is a very detailed description of the Lord's appearance, ornamentation, personality and pastimes in Vraja, and his interactions with his devotees. It also explains how this most love-filled form of the Lord can reside in the devotee's home and be served there by the grace of Sri Mahaprabhuji. Introduction. In this second letter of instruction, Sri Hariraji explains the highest stage of Nirodha, that is, when the heart and mind are exclusively confined to the Lord's contemplation. When an embodied soul fills their heart with the teachings within the first letter, Sri Acharyaji will certainly bless them with the understanding that in this path of grace, Sri Krishna himself is the bliss-filled reward. Now Sri Hariraji, through his second letter, shows how Sri Krishna can be brought to reside in the heart as the experience of his form arises. Verse 1. There are 18 verses of description of the Lord's form now follow. Verse 1. Sri Krishna, most beautiful, sits on Yashoda's lap. His hair is tied into a braid, a string of pearls and swinging curly locks adorn his forehead. Tika 1. This form of Sri Krishna sitting on his mother Yashoda's lap is a pure manifestation of divine love and bliss. The Sri Krishna, who appeared in Mathura as Vasudevji's son, is not manifested solely to perform divine loving pastimes, but appeared to fulfill many divine purposes, such as removing the burdens of the earth and granting liberation. Sri Krishna's form in Yashoda's house appeared solely to shower bliss on his Vraja devotees, the gopis, and it is this latter form of divine bliss who is the recipient of loving service in Sri Vallabhacharyaji's path of grace. Within that there are two types. In every kalpa, time span of the 4 ages, Satya, Dwapar, Treta and Kali, there is a Dwarpa Yug, when Nanda and Yashoda appear, and then Sri Thakurji, Sri Krishna, also appears. However, this is not Sri Krishna, though sitting on Yashoda's lap, who is worshipped in the path of grace. These appearances of the Lord in various kalpas are partial manifestations, but in the Saraswat kalpa, the Lord himself appears to fulfill the boon given to the Vedic verses, and it is this Sri Krishna who is worshipped in the path of grace. Sri Gosaiji stated, Know this Sri Krishna to be the highest essence. Any other manifestation is not the Lord himself. Sri Yashoda very lovingly cradles this Sri Krishna in her lap, he who is the cause and origin of all pastimes and creation. She cherishes him and is thus filled with bliss, just as described in Sri Gosaiji's Mangalam Mangalam verses. She holds this auspicious form in her lap, and thus she also becomes auspicious. This form alone is to be meditated upon. Sitting her son on her lap, Sri Yashodaji strokes his lovely curly hair and ties it into a braid, feeds him with various tasty foodstuffs, and plays with him with assorted toys. The devoted Kumarika gopis living in her house, Sri Chandravaliji and Sri Swaminiji, all come to tie his braid, treating him as a beloved infant. When Sri Krishna behaves like a mischievous child, Sri Yashodaji calls Sri Swaminiji, Rishabhanu's daughter, to sit next to him, and then she braids both of their hair. These many moods of love have been revealed by the grace of Sri Mahaprabhuji, Sri Vallabhacharyaji. The string of pearls braided into his hair looks beautiful, like drops of water resting on the pearls of blue lotus, or like stars shining near a blue moon. When his hair blows gently in the soft, cool and fragrant breeze, it appears incredibly beautiful, like lines and lines of bees, which, attracted to the nectar of his lotus face, come to taste its sweetness. Some strands of hair appear as tiny snakes on his moon-like face. This is how we should lovingly contemplate his head-to-toe beauty in our hearts. Verse 2. A string of pearls beautifies his forehead from its centre to his ears. It is also adorned with a beautiful musk tilak. Tika 2. This string of pearls tied from his forehead to his ears looks as lovely as two lines of ducks emerging from a dark rain-filled cloud. Sri Thakurji embodies this mood of adornment from his loving devotees. So, whilst this musk tilak naturally always beautifies his forehead, it is the expression of Sri Chandravaliji's loving relationship with him. A golden jewel is placed there by Sri Swaminiji of golden body with her love. In this way, all his ornaments hold inner meanings. Verse 3. His cheeks are decorated with saffron designs, and their beauty is enhanced by his dangling earrings. Tika 3. Both his cheeks appear and most lovely with their lotus petal designs drawn in saffron, sandal and musk. They are drawn as the symbol of Sri Swaminiji's heart's desire, for the lotus petal design is used in the ceremony of marriage. So she expresses this desire by making these designs with saffron, which has the colour of her own divine body, thus making it known that his marriage is to her alone. Furthermore, when Sri Yashodaji is busy with her household chores, she seats Sri Thakurji in Sri Swaminiji's lap, who then takes him to a secluded place and implores him thus, "I have been suffering the pain of separation from you for a very long time. Now please remove that anguish." When Sri Thakurji assumes his youthful form and satisfies her every desire. At this time, Sri Swaminiji enacts her marriage to him by the drawing of these designs with her own fair hands, asking him to eternally grant her such happiness. There is a verse, "My son Kanhaiya is a bridegroom in the daytime." In this way, having played many intimate pastimes with him, Sri Swaminiji cradles Sri Thakurji in her arms and takes him back to Sri Yashoda, saying, "Your son is most mischievous. He never settles or stays and asks why all the time, so I have amused him with play and am now bringing him back to you." Then Sri Yashodaji is very pleased with Sri Swaminiji, takes Sri Thakurji from her back into her lap and prays humbly to the Creator, "Please make sure my son marries this daughter of Sri Vrishabhanuji." She showers Sri Swaminiji with gifts and sweets. So this is why Sri Krishna's cheeks are thus decorated. He also wears earrings in both ears. They dangle and look most beautiful. Sometimes they are in the shape of a crocodile and sometimes of a peacock. The crocodile-shaped earrings embody the devotional sentiments of the unmarried gopis for Sri Krishna, while the peacock earrings embody those of the gopis who have married worldly men but only adore Sri Krishna. These devotees all stand before him, looking at the way those earrings shine on his cheeks, defeating the beauty of millions of cupids, and making even a sapphire appear dull. We'll take a pause until tomorrow, when we will recommence with verse 4. Aaj ke Anand ki jai, sab Vaishnavan ko sadar sa prem, Sanand. Jai Shri Krishna. Shri Hari Rai Ji ki jai ho. Aaj ke Anand ki jai ho. Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju Jai De. Jai Shri Krishna.